But I think I finally solved the problem. So hopefully they'll stop. I think these idiots were trying to let me know that the cat needed to be let in from the garage. So they were running over there and barking. But then they're barking so loud and then hanging out that the cat doesn't want to come in, understandably. So I think that's what's been going on for 2 or 3 hours.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Dreamlands. My name's Philip.
That's what you got me.
I got you that time?
You got me that time.
I just went live while Pierce was talking about dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. Yeah. It's very hot outside in certain places in this world of ours right now.
And yet, also just heads up, guys. You should check, if any of you drink any canned coffee drinks, you might want to check with the FDA because 200 different brands are being recalled because of botulism.
Oh. But that's what's good for that's what's good for wrinkles, right?
Only
Good
in the
for what?
forehead, though.
Wrinkles.
That's what the bow. Yeah, that's what the bow and
Botox.
Botox is.
Oh. Yeah.
Drink that stuff and you'll have no wrinkles.
Yeah, it's I just sorry, the reason you're talking about being hot, well, because that's a function of climate change, which will lead to more and more things creating botulism, but also
Yes.
So perfect skin for everyone.
Yeah.
yeah, and then also and coffee just dying outright.
Oh, that's well, that's fine by me. I don't know what to burn for tonight because it's I don't know. I'm gonna burn a candle. This isn't a Cantrip Candles camp, but I just like them so much. I'm gonna burn one. Last time, the problem is the one we did last time is we went to the Usher on Rift, which is very much a Realm of Shadows vibe, but.
Sure.
Now you guys are going to be talking to people from Ravensdread, which is also Realm of Shadows Drive. I have House of the Witch.
But if we're staying in the park, then you need something that's like Disneyland churros.
I'll be right back. The churro one's in the other room. Not joking.
No, this is one I like a lot, actually. This is one of the new deities one. Very good.
Deities one smells like churros.
I think it's, to me it specifically smells like a Honduran rice pudding.
It's not. Yeah, it's not
And there's
churros,
cinnamon
but it's
in
like
that.
a
That
close
makes
enough
sense.
vibe. That's what I'm saying. It's the closest I have. All right, then we will be burning it up for Javid, Steward of Knowledge.
Churros or pretzels work for that.
I do not have I guess golden wheat.
Get some
bakery.
bright water. Light some brine water and some golden wheat bakery at the same time.
salty bread. Sure, there you go. We didn't get too inappropriate in last night's game.
Oh, should we rectify that?
Oh, we will tonight in this, you monsters. But Liv said one pretty inappropriate thing, and a tiny plant is definitely hooking up with a human lady. That is going on in the game.
Is that how poison ivy was made?
No, no. This is a weird. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. It's a weird.
Not the weirdest pairing I've seen in fan fiction,
No,
to be fair.
Not the weirdest pairing we've done on this show.
What is weird about it, though, is I think both of the people doing it. This is why I'm intrigued by it. No one is like. Certainly, neither of them are unwilling, but they're both like, Am I gonna fucking do this? Like, is this what's happening? Like, is this the road we're going down? It all started when they told the lady was talking to the tiny plant like he was a baby, and then somebody said, use your adult voice. And so, to me, I had her say, before I remembered it was a Cantrip Candles game, hey there. How are you doing, little plant? Are you sprouting? Yeah, exactly.
And what happened once you remembered?
I just kept going.
Yeah.
You gotta commit to the bit.
Yeah, committed to the bit. It's the worst. Wait, are you talking about did Sophia say that a long time? Is she talking about the heat, or is she talking about Akadama and Sister Leila? Because I'm pretty sure if you're talking about
Pretty sure it can be both. She doesn't have to pick.
Oh, it's worse than what he just did, so it is the worst. You're talking about this. I'm pretty sure, Sophia, your keyboard's broken. 2 times you've typed best, and it's typed out worst. Somebody's done a macro on your computer.
It's a weird thing. I would just be curious if you are constantly redefining badness, Philip, or if it's all just in the same level of category of badness.
I think there's just different textures. Much like what this tiny plant and the woman are about to discover. It did end with Zane saying, "We are descending into a dark cavern," and telepathically to his plant familiar, and the plant familiar replied, I too am about to enter a dark cavern. Today I am a tree. So anyway, good times. Sigh. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Sophia. Dan also was doing some shenanigans in that game where Dan is refusing to call himself what his class is, and he has changed the name of every spell and feature to something else. But he refuses to say what his class is because he says he's an astromancer.
I see.
So that's what's going on. So the way he turned into a spider was through his starry shape, for example. And he cast a spell called That From Which No Light Escapes, and suddenly everyone got a +10 bonus to their stealth. A good spell to have on hand in a module called Stealth.
It's just so here's the
Dan
thing.
does take after me, right, Sophia?
Here's the thing. So I just appreciate that, like, we were like, it's been so long on the channel since we've had just a D&D 5th edition game.
Yep.
And there are, like, it's just funny to me that there's usually players that are like, I need to be, like, extra in some way. Right? It's just very interesting that it's all 4 of your players trying to be the most extra they can possibly be.
Yeah. That every single one of them is the party is a bugbear, a sea elf, a satyr, and a Githyanki. A real inconspicuous little group there.
I thought my 5 strength, 8 constitution, 12 was special.
No. That was normal. Although last night there actually was a kobold made a big. I was actually texting KJ about this earlier today. There was a fairly funny, just like understandable player assumption, but also I had said what was going on. I told them there is a knight guarding this altar, and I said roll me a D100. And so Liv rolled a D100, and I looked at I have a D100 table of species. I was like, I'll do any species, and it was a kobold. I was like, okay, so there's a kobold knight. She's standing guard. She's kind of offended that you're suggesting that they can't protect this thing you guys are planning to steal. And so when I think in their mind, they were like, oh, it's a little kobold, got it. So, like, when they decided to attack, one of the players was just like, I attack. And, like, does a 16 hit? I'm like, nope. They're wearing plate mail. And now they smack at you with a greatsword, like, oh, or like it did like 7 damage. Like, okay, got it. So they're dead. Like, no, they're not even 90% dead. They're not even. Yeah, it's like they're still at 90% of their life. Yeah, it was pretty. I was pretty amused by that vibe of I know you're hearing kobold, but what you should be hearing is knight. Also, you don't play D&D in that much, so it doesn't matter at any point.
Cool.
Zane is extra in his own way. You're right, Sophia.
But what's happening with this game?
That was a good question.
Segway. It's not just a scooter. Last week, we had a tragedy strike in the form of a joke that Pierce set up in private long ago that finally paid off. Where Filian, the aged minifigure turned injured flesh thing, who did finally get to try a churro.
Was that his last meal? His literal last meal?
I think his literal last meal was a churro.
First meal, too.
First and last, yeah. And he sadly perished as it was his time. But the group were able to say goodbye to him, gather around, and he's kind of getting. He made his last wishes known for Treason to return to the brick world to fulfill. We're dubious that she will do as instructed with his wealth and magic items. She might honor his desire for Huertas and Katek to be like not allow them to become powerful. He also said, I want them to never be able to do anything. Oh, and also character Filian was being a real like, oh no, I'm also getting old. Kind of like, oh, well, still I'm outliving that one. But, so, exit all minifigures at this point. In the meantime, what's that?
I'm imagining the funeral and the wake. Everyone's in the black suits, and then a little Lego coffin is there with Filian inside.
There are Lego coffins.
Yeah.
That's
Then we
grim.
get a little spatula to get it out.
It's like for like a Dracula, It's like
Okay.
a spooky coffin. Spatula. So basically, the group then headed to the Usheron Rift, to the prime material plane there, Usheron, to investigate an interplanar traveler who Henry could not yet identify. who had moved to a place called Lake Ethelred, which is an incredibly sad spot. A dull, dark, soundless day greeted the group. They went there. Zekas was cursed by a little gift from Beatrice, who seems to be on the lookout for the team out there. They eventually discovered that it was Igor, their old friend, in the cabin making goulash. Having picked this spot, Asha was kind of like, why did you go to the saddest place you could? Igor, what are you doing, bro? Nova got to interact with a couple of ghosts, but she couldn't get them back together. Happy Pride. Basically, Asha was like, sorry, you might have to move again, Igor, but you could also just stay here. Also, tell me about the Nightmare Rider. A good question about the Nightmare Rider, the key question being, is he the horse or the person, caused Igor to be like, ruh-roh, we're in trouble now. Hooves heard in the distance. Igor did not have time to, like, travel through the plains by whatever means he's been using. That has not been revealed yet. And Asha was like, okay, well, we'll just bring you back with us, which he seemed hesitant to accept, but he did accept. And upon everyone arriving home, bless you, you know, Henry was like, okay, well, I understand there. Henry also, I didn't tell you this part, Dominic. Henry was like, okay, I'm pretty sure you guys, like, by less than a minute, probably avoided getting trapped in a Dreadland. Because I think that's what was happening. The Nightmare Rider was going to, like, ride that place and become a new Dreadland. Which raises all sorts of questions about what...
Something that they can do?
The Nightmare Rider? Well, we will talk about that tonight, because you were told that it was likely the Nightmare Rider who pulled Ravensdread out of being a Dreadland.
By getting rid of or disposing of the previous Dreadlord.
Not necessarily. We will get into that. I'm going to give you guys a recap of... I went back through and read everything about this just so it was fresh in my mind. These sessions where this stuff was mattered, it's like... It's so long ago that we were really dealing with this, even though it's been a thing that's, like, been, you know, a thing. So you will, in the course of this discussion, Henry will fill you guys in on all that. But
Sure.
The point is... as three liches continue battling over Filian's body, now being used as a little soul receptacle, the rest of you sort of gather in, and the vote for the mission has come in. I told you what won the vote, Ka, that it was what of our dreadful yesterdays. But I didn't tell you where that mission takes you, which is nowhere. Once again, our mission remains here in the park. The goal of this is to talk to Friederike and Igor and get to the bottom of what happened in Ravensdread.
Okay.
So,
But Dominic will note
yes.
that Asha is 100% win rate of getting someone when she has the book. I've only brought back unwanted guests 2 out of the many times I had the book.
I've
3,
had the book
if you count.
twice, and it's a 50% success
Okay.
rate.
Okay.
So- Also, as discussed earlier, Igor's not a rando. So I'm actually going to knock that down to 25%. It's like a little halfy. So
There's some kind of asterisk.
Cheeky little
on it for
happy.
sure.
there it is.
Also, any other business you guys want to do in the park, this is kind of a good time to do it. Unlike when we resurrected Friederike, there is not kind of like a huge event that's happening. This is more kind of a fact-finding thing. I will say that on this day, you are all, let's all roll for our luck. Roll our 4 dice for luck.
2 8s.
Hey, you got 4 today.
No
Is
matches.
this immediately after? Is our power back, or is this actually...
Your power is back.
Okay.
After last time, it was a tough situation, so you guys were spending a lot of
matches.
power to avoid. I know Zekas was... I'll refill Zekas's, in fact. Because he was... Ooh, he had 1. Poor fellow. How was Nova? Okay, there we go. So yeah, you guys are all back at full power, and you have whatever luck you have for the day. Henry will say that at the start of this session, Henry is not present, but you suspect he'll come in at some point. So if there's anything you guys want to do, Zekas and Nova are kind of Nova's just, talking to Agnes and some of the more ghostly people. Zekas is, talking to, probably chatting with, like, the Shadow Elf characters.
The Gestorian.
Maybe the Gestorian. Yeah. I know
This is good. It keeps him off of my back.
But, yeah.
All I know is we need to put, what is it? Frederica and Igor in a room, and we need to get the whole whiteboard, not the whiteboard, the tack board with all the notes on there in order to figure out what's going on here.
Okay. So do you want that's your plan? You want to get in a room
I'll set
with
that
them
up.
and a board?
Ash, I think that bad idea.
No. Us as a group. Once we go to figuring out, I just want to set the tone for when we get to figuring out what's going on.
Understood. I will say Ghost Woman, Frankie, is actually the sort of character Ghost Woman you guys brought back.
It's not Frankie, it's Frankie.
It really is actually Ghost Woman.
Lowercase f.
Yeah. She is
from
chatting
the
with Callie and
fighting
Nova.
game.
So she's kind of settled in. Frederica has not really left her chambers since this has happened. Igor is kind of... We'll actually start with Igor kind of coming up to you guys. And sort of, he's saying,
do you think I should... you have told me to wait in Haldir's where I have been. It is a fascinating place, but would it be better if I were to hide myself away so that Frederica may go about this place in peace once again?
Where you want to go, Bad Dragon?
I will go wherever you tell me to stay. I've just been in Haldir's. There's a lot of dancing at all hours.
All right. We can hold you up somewhere so you're out of line of sight if that's what you want.
I just
Maybe-
want for Frederica to not suffer.
All right, we can put you in like, I don't know,
But
dungeon or something.
do you honestly believe that you are the sole source of her suffering?
No, but I
That she
think...
seemed fairly. I have not spoken with her, but she seemed pretty dour
Yes,
before you
but
arrived.
she seems very upset to see me. I probably remind her of bad times.
I mean, how ugly is this fella here? Are we talking here?
he is certainly grotesque in a certain way. He is a sort of stereotypical type Igor, so there is
Stereotypical type Igor.
a grotesqueness to him, but I mean, I don't know.
Hunchback, big nose.
He's got kind of like, probably has like kind of like bulbous eyes, and yet I don't know that I would call him ugly. I would honestly say he could really make a lot of money as like an actor in commercials, because they like people with a lot of character in their face. They're like a person like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh, that guy, he's loving that. He's a quirky, charming guy who loves that Dr. Pepper.
I get the feeling he should be part of a Velvet Room somewhere, helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It has a joke that 3 people on this channel get.
Eh.
I don't know what that was. I'm not sure what the Velvet Room is. What's it from?
Persona.
It's a video game series from the
That's
Japanese.
what Cosmonaut knows.
Yes. Anyway, so.
Dr. Pepper.
Well, actually, we should furnish a Velvet Room just for Igor there, so he can stay in comfort on his own.
Okay.
In any case.
you can certainly tell him. He's just literally, but you guys told him to go to Haldir's. That's where he's been.
All right.
Miserable place for Igor to be.
He has been in worse.
Okay. So yeah, you can. I mean, there are so many houses and mansions here. I believe like there's even like additional apartments under like in the building with Duchess Contessa's apartment. I think that was like a whole apartment building, so you could just go into like an empty apartment. Yeah, he's got.
Where do we get furnishings from? Do they just manifest from the ether?
It's a different voice. Mrs. Goddard will be like, "Oh, Mrs. Goddard's got it. What do you need? Yeah, I got all that."
Right. Okay.
Are you cool with mid-millennium Alderanian? Because that's what I got a lot of. Mrs. Goddard's got it. Real low couches. Statement piece coffee tables.
I feel like a
piece
statement.
Tap tables. They call it calf.
So in any case, Igor, yeah, you guys can put Igor in some sort of...
All right.
He'll be in some comfort. He can sort of stay there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
go ahead,
so-
Dominic.
I guess the plan is we're gonna coax Frederica outside of her room where she's holed up, probably with a trail of candy. Would that only work on you, Asha?
They work on a lot of people here.
All right. So we just gotta coax her out of her room, get them together, then we can finally have both of them clarify what the heck happened in their backstory, I guess, with what happened with the Dreadlord.
I should think they not go in room together.
Will they be all over each other one way or the other?
No. But Frederica, just leave.
I have a question. Not that I am against exploring misery of these two people, but why do we care? What does it pertain to? How does it pertain to our mission?
Well, I don't care about the people. I care about what they knew with their Dreadlord, or well, I don't care. I just get this weird feeling we should investigate that Dreadlord thing in order to figure out what's going on with.
It's something to do with the evil, maybe horse guy.
Yeah, either the horse
Okay.
or the guy on the horse that I shot.
Oh, Schrodinger's nightmare rider.
Who's Schrodinger? I guess Henry, you around somewhere?
Henry will arrive not too long here. You guys, who has look or listen of 4 dice in this group?
Looking for.
Look of 4. Asha, you got it. Okay. Asha and Dominic, you however notice kind of as you guys are having. Where do you think you're having this chat? Are you just kind of out on the plaza near Haldir's?
I
Yeah.
guess
Okay.
Yeah.
You notice one figure is kind of like staying somewhat close to you guys, hasn't stepped over, but is clearly maybe either going to try to approach you at some point or just wants to be nearby, and that is La Trovadora. She has her guitar, she has her sort of skirts, she's just kind of nearby, sticking around your general area.
Is that one of the character Dreadlords?
She is not a Dreadlord, she is one of the lore masters. She knows a lot about Blood from a Stone.
Okay.
Who is woman with guitar that continues to listen to us?
I turned to Asha. Who is that lady?
It La Travelora.
Mm.
That probably it. That her name probably.
Pardon me, Miss La Travelora. Can we be of assistance to you?
Oh, that is, you know, that's fine. What you are?
Do you
new,
wish
what-
to
what is your
lead
name?
healing circle with guitar?
Probably not today, but I suppose I could try something like this. What is your name?
I am Cosmin Ocelot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm La Trovadora. So what?
Oh, pardon me, La Trovadora.
Yes,
Understood.
it's all right. What can I do for you?
Well, we just noticed you're listening, and as we're discussing our Igor, Frederica situation.
I am. I have to admit, I'm very curious about sort of a dreadland outside of the one that I as a character have experienced or remember.
A rider? You mean?
Well, this is something that my friend Walker has been telling me about a little bit more of what he knows of this or what is sort of similar to. But I am not an expert on this, but I am curious. Because it seems now you have brought people who are not characters. They are like you, they are the real people from this place. 2 of them now. And one is very scared of the other. I just think it's interesting. I wrote a song about it already. It's good, it needs a new bridge.
trying to
So
find
you
a
have
better rhyme for hunchback.
That is a difficult rhyme.
I have some options. I'm not thrilled with any of them.
All I got is I would like my lunch back, and I think that is pretty bad.
Bushwhack.
Ooh, bushwhack is pretty good.
Bushwhack is not bad.
Little slant rhyme.
I could. I mean, I've been playing around with like punch track. I don't know. The point is, I'm just curious what you might learn from them.
Then do you want to listen in? I don't care.
I would, if you would allow that, I would love to.
I'm not your boss. I can't tell you no.
It sounds to me like you're sort of leading this investigation, talking about boards and putting people in rooms, and they go at it one way or another. It's all very interesting.
Is that what you took? Oh, whatever. Just hang out in the corner, I guess. On the...
This how rumors get started.
Who are you saying that
The general.
to? To everyone. At this point, sort of, you guys hear the sort of kind of magical pop of someone arriving, and Henry kind of, strides over and says, "Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today?" Oh. Hello? Nova and Zek. Well, alright, fine. So, Cosmo Ocelot, Asha, and Dominic, I suppose. You're sort of the team. We have a few little missions that might make sense, but I don't know. It was sort of seeming to me like, based on what was happening yesterday, maybe we should try and, I think one of you had suggested maybe we try to get to the bottom of what's really going on in Ravenstred.
Makes sense. I suppose with our track record, if we go out to a plane, we'll bring someone back.
Well, bring someone back, or also there's this curse out there, and though I can give you means of protecting against curses, there are a lot of different curses, and these are insidious ones. You won't necessarily know you're under it. She might try something a bit more subtle.
Fuck.
What, Asha?
No, last time I said Asha would do a thing after in the downtime.
You did.
And you said yes. Tell
I
me
said,
when. We
absolutely,
get
just tell
back,
me at the start
and
of the next
I
thing.
don't remember what the fuck I said.
What did you say?
Well, the good news is that you were correct to do it then, because I remember you saying, "No, I'm going to do this now because I will forget." I remember that. I don't remember what it was.
I want to check the VODs.
Yeah, you can
Check the tapes.
You can check the tapes if you want to.
It was either talking to Frederica or trying to make duplicates of the curse thing,
The curse detector.
or something altogether
I
different.
think it
and
was.
I've
I think it
forgotten
was something with the curse detector and Mrs. Got It.
Does she got it?
That sounds familiar.
You were gonna ask her for parts to try to recreate what Igor did. You also that's definitely a thing you can do, and you'll get additional bonuses on it because Igor is present. You can literally ask him how stuff. You have an example of the device and him, so you could do that. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
I
fine.
don't remember what it was. But so as Henry is kind of saying, yes. So basically, whatever sort of I'm very curious about this, and Igor. Oh, well, let me actually tell you all a little. Oh, hello, Is La Trovadora joining you for this little thing?
It would appear.
Apparently.
Okay. So,
mind.
well, here, let's have a seat. Let me tell you a bit of what I've been.
Asha will sit on top of Scoo.
Oh, it's like a little roll-up chair. That's fun. So here's the situation. If you recall, Dominic, you were lucky to not be on that mission. Nova and Zekas are still sort of recuperating from it emotionally. You probably hear Nova in the distance. Just you find
Ready
it.
to go back. You said talk to Frederica.
Talk to
You
Frederica.
said-
Oh, that's literally what we're doing this session, so you're fine.
Yeah.
That's literally the point of the mission. You probably hear Nova's voice carrying like, I don't know, I just don't know why they couldn't be together. I think it would have been nicer if they could have wound it. I don't know why it had to be so. So, she and Zekas are dealing with stuff. So Henry says, so I'll sort of let you all lead this, but Dominic, you were not present. The others narrowly avoided. I think being trapped in a domain in a dreadland, in one that would have been newly formed, that region Lake Ethelred is prime real estate for it. And I have scryed on it since then, and it is gone. It has been
Gone?
placed. Yes, it is now in the sort of shadow world. It's been pulled into the mists.
Gee,
Indeed.
that's bad. We're safe from that?
Well, you were not present when it happened.
No, as in while we're here in this place.
Well, this place is in the Dreamlands, so yes, this for this place, if the Nightmare Rider can come here and ride around us and generate the mist and pull us in, we're in more trouble than I realized. Though he did do something to your old place where he point being, there's a lot of danger going on.
Okay.
A question, though, is why was Igor there? If anyone would know what such regions were about, don't you think it would be someone who was very knowledgeable about his own realm and escaped from it? And has been running, trying to avoid foes. He clearly deems the Nightmare Rider some foe of his, does he not?
Igor?
Correctly. Yes. I get the impression he felt hunted. I'm not sort of necessarily adversary, but certainly predator.
So why would he have been there? And then why did he suddenly want to escape?
Is it the same plane as before when we met him?
No, not even the same multiversal cluster. He can get around, and that is also very interesting.
How many times he escaped? He run away from maybe horse?
We don't know.
Well, we got ways of making him talk.
Well, hopefully.
It takes 7 tries to get away from bad relationship.
It takes 7 tries to get away from a bad relationship.
Yes.
I understand.
So if that less than 7, it's gonna take more tries.
I understand. That's a good insight, Arsha. The Troubadour says,
7 tries.
I know a song about that I could play. I also know a song about how many ways there are to leave your lover. If you
I was
like
going to
hear
say,
that.
it usually takes me 50 times.
Yes. Well, this is more
Average.
that is more about the 50 ways that you can leave.
Well, I thought you had to do all 50. I have done all 50.
Oh, I see. This seems overkill. I think they would get the message after at least 10. No need to be coy, Roy.
Just, I made no plans then.
Just scare yourself free. So in any case, Henry kind of listens to this for a moment and says, there is certainly a lot that he's not telling us. There is also much Friederika's not telling us. There also are probably things they don't know. I will leave it to you. You have a relationship with them. You've rescued them and literally brought one of them back from the dead, so hopefully your rapport can extend to this. Let me know what you need as far as support from me to uncover these mysteries. I can sit in if you'd like, or I can...
You have truth serum?
There
Does
is
it
a
work on Frederica? Does she need to
What
eat?
about at least sodium pentothal?
Well, there is a spell that I could cast by sort of aping a more sort of divine type of casting that would at least make it so no one could. I don't know that I could. I probably could compel them to be truthful, but that seems a bit aggressive. It honestly even seems a bit aggressive to put them in a place where they can't tell a lie, but we could create a sort of truth zone. In which,
Okay, that plan B.
yes, I think maybe a truth zone is a plan B. I shall stand at the ready. He sort of adjusts his bowler and his little umbrella. I can stand at the ready to do that when you ask, but yes.
So, set up a little place somewhere with a one-way mirror that he can sit behind.
You want me to sit behind a one-way mirror?
Yeah.
Okay.
All mirrors one way.
A two-way mirror? Yeah, what's the one that you can see through? I've actually studied a lot of...
So
what is
do
the
we
proper term?
is plan that we speak with them together? We speak to them individually.
Very good question.
We speak to them in groups. We speak to them all together.
We'll just put them in rooms right next to each other, okay? At first, because I don't know if they're really against each other somehow. Well, I don't think he has any beef with Frederica, but she might have some beef with him. Who
Might have more
knows?
fear of him. There is a good bit of room in sort of course court, sort of.
Back there again, huh?
Not there if you bother.
No. I know the place. We've been there a couple of
Course
times.
court is rather comfortable, and there are sort of you could easily put one in, the library and the other in the sitting room and go back and forth.
All right.
I think La Trovadora can't help but mention, in a three-way mirror or something, if you put it above your bed, it's a good way to. Never mind.
Oh, Asha's seen that.
Doesn't know also seen this.
There you go.
Well, quick question though, Dominic.
Yes.
Just so I properly calibrate myself. Are we questioning or are we interrogating?
Is there a difference?
Very much so.
Oh.
Okay, he not part of this anymore. He got confused.
Okay. Let's start over. I don't intend for Lefty and Righty to be there at the start. Okay. It just,
Just want to make
if-
sure because we did discussions of truth serum, zones of truth.
Yeah.
There are methods to making people talk that I am aware of.
For
And I just want
now-
to make sure if this is conversation, then we sit, we have tea, we talk.
we're just gonna talk to them. Okay. We're not bringing out any violence. We
Oh.
just talk to them.
Tea sound good.
Tea is always good for
Wednesday
conversation.
just materializes. Did you need tea, miss?
You have one with big fierce bear on it.
Tea, miss?
It's called Sleppy Time.
Slappy tea, miss. I shall try to do something for it, miss. Would you all like my buns as well?
Yes, okay.
Slappy tea, man. Very well.
Osmond Ocelot really loves the happy tea. Man.
really got me.
Happy tea, man.
Slappy tea, man. Slappy tea, man really does sound like a Star Wars drink, I'll say
It
that.
absolutely does. It absolutely
To
does.
say, perhaps we should check in
100% Jabba's palace
Yeah.
is serving Sleppy Time.
Haldir, if you go ask Haldir, he's got Slappy tea, man for days. I got Slappy tea, man. Want to see me pour it on myself? Oh, it's hot and burning me, but I don't care.
That sounds right.
So, okay, so which one of us has the highest rapport with Frederica? I know it's not Cosmo Ocelot because you've literally never met her.
I think it's Asha.
It's probably Asha.
Asha, because Asha become her friend, and then she
And
died
Hige.
because
Okay.
she become Asha friend, and then Asha bring her back to life because she Asha friend.
All right.
These
Can I trust you
complicated friendships.
to bring her out of her room where she was locked in there? She locked herself in there for a while.
She hasn't locked herself in. She just seems she hasn't been. Since Igor went in, she's gone to her. I guess actually you could ask Wednesday. Wednesday probably interfaces with her the most.
All right.
No,
Yes.
Asha go.
Okay. Well, yeah. I just didn't know that if she would really seclude herself. But yeah, Asha, I'll rely on you to bring her out to this.
Wednesday will say no one is like they've brought her food, but she just hasn't come out of her room. She's not like locked herself in or anything.
Wait, do they even need to eat? Do the Stitch need to eat?
The Stitched do need to eat.
Huh.
They are not.
Okay.
They're undead-ish, but their hearts are beating.
So they're not undead. They're re-lifed.
They're a weird one.
Well, also, all undead eat, right? Zombies eat brains, vampires drink blood. Like
Skeletons don't, but yeah, it's
Fair.
There's
Fair.
there's a range. It's a undead.
It's a weird thing.
Spectrum.
Not all undead, okay? Hashtag not all undead. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, Asha go get.
Okay.
All right. Then I'll go fetch Igor.
Okay.
I
I
like
will
to
sit
imagine
and
that if
contemplate
Asha's
life
not.
with tea.
I like to imagine if Asha's not sneaking, you hear her footsteps always like Stewie from Family Guy, just constantly like tippy tap everywhere.
Understood. All right, Asha. Yeah, it's honestly, Dominic. You can easily go find Igor and bring him to a room in there to like wait, and he will go wherever you tell him to go. Asha, yeah, you can go. I believe she actually is she staying in Course Court?
Yeah.
I
So
think she might literally just be in Course Court.
So we're just bringing Igor over.
Yeah.
no, one at a time. One at a time.
I will. We don't need to. You will definitely place them in the rooms you're going to interview them
We'll
in.
place them in different rooms, okay?
Such that they don't see each other. That's fine. Yes, I believe she is in. She is in that.
Like, while these two rooms are next to each other, like the Hera room and the
Sure, yeah.
Aphrodite room.
Those probably have people sleeping in them now, but like you could do like on the ground.
I'd kick 'em out.
You always just kick them out.
they're not real. This place isn't real.
That's true. So Asha, yes, if you go to Frederica's door, the door's closed.
Asha knock.
Okay. Frederica will say, I don't need anything else Wednesday, I'm fine.
Hey, Asha.
Oh. She kind of cracks the door open. Yes, Asha, what is it?
How you doing?
Oh. I am not well. I feel bad that grotesque little man brings me such sadness, but it is memories
And Asha, very sorry to have brought back all those memories.
No, it's not your fault, and I from what I can tell, you were trying to save him. I certainly don't want him to die, but he just frightens me.
Asha, understand. How about we go take a walk and then talk about all the unspeakable evils you've seen?
Oh,
Over tea.
Let's see, Asha. Charming and persuading is not your,
It is not.
it is not your area of expertise, but she is your buddy. So let's just roll with 3 dice. We'll give you an extra one on it as for your rapport that you have. And unfortunately, you have remaining knowledge points. I guess if you wanted to like use some knowledge on like
bestie time.
Yeah, on bestie time. Okay. You could put some into bestie time if you want, sure.
No true.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna help me.
I suppose that or just like friendship tactics. Forest friendship, I don't know, something like that. Let's call it forest friendship. You already have forest lore.
Okay.
So how many points do you want to put into forest friendship of your 4 remaining?
Can I do 2 and then
Absolutely.
if this goes horribly, can I later add to it?
You absolutely can. You could put on 2 for now. Here, I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so yeah, so in that case, you'll have a total of 5 on this roll.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, 3 threes.
3 threes. Fantasy, wellness beyond the witchlight. Yeah, seems like a thing. She says, "I suppose that might be for the best." Oh, all right, yes. And she kind of.
You want
steps
cookies
out.
too?
I suppose has Wednesday made any of those buns?
She always making the buns.
Yes.
She never not have buns.
Yes.
She have buns for days.
Yes. That sounds good then. She also is she has buns, but this is her body shape. Canonically. So, perfect. So, Frederica will come down at this point. Igor has been placed in one room, Frederica in another. Which specific rooms they're in, you guys have kind of cleared of everyone else for your purposes. So, who are you going to talk to first? Or Asha, are you just going to go in with Frederica first? Carry on from there?
I think that makes sense.
Okay, sure. So yeah, you guys go in with Frederica.
All right.
She sees Cosmo Ocelot and Dominic and La Trovadora. And do you want Henry in there as well, or is he just... He's not going to watch for a 2-way mirror. He's just going to put a fucking scrying ball in there is what he's going to do.
Yeah,
He's a divination like archmage. He can just see anything and he's fine.
Dominic doesn't know spells. He doesn't even know. Never heard of that spell in his life.
He probably says to you, "I shall do the equivalent of a 2-way mirror. How about that? I'll magically have a 2-way mirror."
And Dominic's all thinking, "Just put up a 2-way mirror, bro. What's the problem?"
So, Cosmonaut, yes.
Oh, I was just going to say, Wednesday, your buns are succulent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So Friederica sits down and
So I think
Wednesday says, "This is Sleepy Time. It is a drink from Asha's planet." She pours it out. Oh, it's very herbal. Yes, miss, very herbal, miss. No caffeine. No caffeine in Sleepy Time.
Delightful.
is the
don't need to get too
Slepitima
tipsy.
bear an Ewok instead of the normal bear?
It's probably, I mean, if we're going for size comparison, it's probably
A Yasm?
no, what's it? Fucking
Wookie?
thank you. My God, I can't believe I forgot the word.
Is it made by Is it made by Sealy's Tayal Saizonangs? But so she sits down and sips some tea and takes a bite of a bun and just kind of being demure and quiet and very pretty with her green thread especially.
If I may begin, Federica, I know that we wish to ask you questions about your past, and I just want you to keep in mind something I think has been true for most of my life, is that the sadness and the trauma of your life lives in darkness within you. And by sort of exercising it, by talking about it, is a way to shine light on it and vacate it.
Oh,
We are here to help you, is sort of my pitch.
I see. Well, that is a very kind impulse that you will have.
That's it. I don't know exactly what we are supposed to ask you, so I turn it over to my colleagues.
You know who Dreadlord is?
The Dreadlord of... Well, yes, there are many Dreadlords here. The Dreadlord of my realm was... the Dreadlord...
It just felt like you slapped Frederica right in the face.
you know what Dreadlord is? After your friend. Forest friendship. Asha slapping Bug. Stop
Get a
having-
hold of yourself, Frederica.
Stop having
It's
Bug on
like
you,
because it happened right after she was like talking around the answer that you were like.
Frederica. Get to the point. She will say, "It's
Not the ones here. The one you flee.
It was my creator, Professor Quetzalcoatl.
And what he look like? Or she? Or they? Or it.
He was a gentleman. He was sort of, some could call him sort of Byronically handsome. He was a very sort of brooding gentleman. He was young. He had just reached 30, I believe. He was not a sort
And
of...
how many legs he have? Yes.
Two legs.
You called him Byronic.
Well, that is probably a term I don't know. He was sort of a very sort of brooding, romantic
It's when you are
hero.
attracted, but because you're not supposed to be.
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
that-
He was not a sort of. I was betrothed to Orlando, who was always considered the most handsome.
I thought you were describing like his species. I don't know what a
I'm so sorry,
Byronic
no.
thing is.
The point is, he was. He was certainly had a sort of quality about him, but he was also very. He did not care for people or stitched very much. It was all sort of experiments. It was all for his ego and his ability to do what he could. And I think the worst thing about Professor Quetzalcoatl was how he was. He would make you do worse things than you might otherwise do. You would make or sort of put you in a position where the Stitch did very many bad things in his name. Igor, for example, served him and robbed graves and sort of kept us for a long period sort of in chains and in cages. We would be punished and have parts of ourselves removed. If you misbehave, they take your arms away for a few days. That sort of thing. And Igor clearly was not happy about this. But he did it. And I did things for the professor that were bad.
Dominic has the look of someone who is unfazed by this because he also did bad things for bad people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
And he liked to eat apples or hay or
Not
salt.
he
What?
I don't recall him eating an apple. I feel like they used to have to force him to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he ate. I mean, I'm supposed he put salt on
When
it.
they force him to eat,
wait, do you think he's a horse or
they
something?
strap bag to his
Was he
head?
a horse?
Was he a horse? No, he was not a horse. He was
Oh.
a man, a human man.
Asha will bring up a picture of a horse and be like, "Is this what you call man back home?"
No,
This-
no, Ash, that is.
No.
Is that what you call man back home?
I call it not out of the option.
Understood. La Trovadora La Trovadora is gonna kind of lean over to Asha and say, I am loving everything I'm hearing right now, but just so you know, I think this line of questioning, I do not believe this man is a horse.
Okay.
It is possible. There could be a sort of hung like a comma, but I don't think he is.
No. Okay. Fine.
Okay. All right, let's derail this conversation. All right. So this Dr. K. It's a K, right? Ketzel, whatever.
Cat's
K,
yes,
right?
Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor.
This
So this-
Dr. Kitzelslausch. He did not like you, even though he created you.
Hmm.
Well, yes, we were sort of his objects, his experiments.
So because he was a dreadlord, that meant he was simultaneously the jailer and the jailed, essentially.
That is what we've come to learn, yes, that he was sort of trapped there. And as far as the rumors go, it was that he was... We assumed that his sort of torment was he could never perfect his sort of science, his invention.
Okay. One of those type of ironic prisons, huh?
That is the idea, and yet he would make us all suffer as his experiments.
Did he have name that village call him?
The professor.
Is Asha confused? Asha thought Dreadlord was Nightmare Rider.
Oh. No.
No,
Actually,
oh,
Yes, you are confused, but no, the Dreadlord wasn't the Nightmare Rider. The
Oh.
Nightmare Rider came in to Robin's and absconded or got rid of Dr. K somehow, and now Dr. K is not there anymore.
I suppose I should. Let's do a recap of the information, because I haven't said I was going to tell you guys all the stuff of the many sessions back this was, and didn't. The story you were told,
So it all your fault.
it all my fault.
Okay.
The story I was told, or the story that you were told by NPCs played by me, was that the official story, what everyone in Ravensdread believes, is that through the power of the Stitched teaming up with the Saints, they all gathered together and used the power of light and created this magical lantern that shone a bright light. They defeated Professor Ketzerschloss. He was killed. And with that, the mists parted and they found themselves in a normal plane. They found themselves out of the mist, and no
Okay.
Dreadlord rose up again.
Okay.
So that was the story they were told. One Stitch named Marco, who died of his injury shortly after that, said the Dreadlord got away. And said there was a horse and the Dreadlord got away. And Sherlock, your old friend,
you guys talking to him, theorized perhaps Ketzerschloss was not the Dreadlord, and there was some swap going on, and that it wasn't the good works of saints and Stitch that saved it. For some reason, some Dreadlord made some deal or something, and Orlando was involved, because Orlando was the only Stitched who stayed on the side of Professor Ketzerschloss. So whatever happened, you think maybe Orlando, the Nightmare Rider, and the real Dreadlord, who perhaps is Orlando. For a while, you're like, is it Friederike? But Sherlock was like, no. You've wondered, is it Igor? Could be lots of people. But basically, the idea is that it wasn't this. They didn't win. They were freed for other shenanigan reasons, and it was the Nightmare Riders doing. That is the that is the sort of thing you're trying to figure out. And I'm so sorry.
That is what we figured out months ago and forgot.
Should have told you that earlier. Many apologies.
Right.
That being said, would I trade anything for Asha asking leading questions about was this man a horse? No, I would not.
No, I stand by all that.
That is Asha's brand. That's her brand. Anyway. Okay, so, and from my mouth, that's what I recall of all of this.
Okay.
Dominic just runs that down for you guys.
All right. Therefore,
I believe that Marco was incorrect. We saw Professor Ketzerschloss die.
but is it necessarily true that, like hypothetically, if the powers that be were to say, you there, you're a Dreadlord now, you cannot escape from this plane right now, right? And if I go, you know what? I'm tired of this plane. I'm just gonna off myself. What's stopping? What would have stopped Ketzerschloss then from freeing himself that way?
Well, oftentimes the Dreadlords were rather powerful. I'm not sure he could have offed himself, although, well, he died from a fall from a very tall height of his sort of tower.
Wait. He just fell from a tall height.
Oh no, he was thrown. He was sort of, stabbed and killed and knocked out. And then...
But did you see him land? You confirmed the body. You confirmed
I stabbed the body several times myself. Yes.
Okay.
On the ground below.
I don't know. Based on what I've heard about Dreadlord, this does not sound like a Dreadlord to me. It just sounds like some dude.
What the powers he have that make him Dreadlord? What you see him do?
Well, it was more that he was in control. He was the master of everything there.
Everything? Or just Stitched?
Oh, the Stitched and sort of he would make other little experiments that were very upsetting, finding these, coming up with these horrible ideas and enacting them, and he was a master of science and using it for bizarre, unholy experiments, like us.
Did the professor have a advisor?
Eagle. It was his assistant. I suppose he would help him, but he was not his advisor. He was his only sort of, the Stitched then served him. I suppose one could say Orlando was his advisor, but that happened later. We had all fled and been freed by then. Orlando stayed behind, and, well, then Orlando killed me.
Yes, because oftentimes, a more powerful figure will remain in shadow and allow a puppet to rule.
Question. The professor was just a human, right? A mortal human that could be killed at any time.
He was,
which you've proven?
Yes.
Does that mean... But then, if he was a human, that means he had a date of birth, right? Or did he just arrive and suddenly became a Dreadland? Was it always a Dreadland, even before he was born?
He created me, so I do not know his birth. I don't know if he was born in... I don't know if he was born in the Dreadland and then became a Dreadlord after the previous died, or if he came from outside and became the Dreadlord.
Wait. Who told you then that he was the Dreadlord, or did he claim it himself?
No, after we escaped, it was explained that he was the Dreadlord.
Who explained that to you?
Well, scholars from
repeat that?
Caleron. Scholars from Caleron. People who
Scholars from
understood.
Caleron.
Yeah, and that's where, when you guys went and talked to the Opris Ephens Index guys, that's where they're from. Sort of the experts on stuff, yeah. when you talk to those folklore index people.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The one with the mime episode.
The return of the mime.
Huh. Hmm.
So they just come and tell you that he Dreadlord?
Well, some of the saints, I think, also knew that he was a dreadlord. The saints who understood the nature of Raven's dread. We didn't all realize that it was this dreadland. I feel like I'm not telling you what you want to know. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. You stay here and eat snacks, and we be right back.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Asha will bring up some cushions from whatever. Here, you get comfy. You do.
Thank you.
Sit on the chase lounge.
Uh-huh.
Once they make sure she is attended to.
La Trovadora will sort of pause and say, may I ask a question?
Okay.
To start to her.
She kind of said, she turns to Friederike and says, but when you looked at Professor Katzerschloss, did you feel fear? Did you feel dread in your heart? Well, yes. Did you feel that about anyone else? Well, yes, Orlando and Igor and sometimes I felt it about a lot of people. I see. Okay. Thank you.
So everyone is a dreadlord.
You guys can step out. What's that?
Is it?
So everyone
is
is dreadlord.
it Oops, all dreadlords?
Oops, all dreadlords.
All dreadlord cereal.
Sort of step out and what La Trovadora says to you in the hallway. And Henry's over there kind of having scribes. And kind of nods to you. And La Trovadora says, typically with a dreadlord, you know. It's the person you're most afraid of.
So she should have anxiety.
Or as you say, maybe it's a
Is it-
dreadlord working from the shadows who is good at hiding. That's interesting. So are you guys going to go to the next room? Or want to say anything before you go into the next room?
Just question of timeline. Did she say that they killed Professor and then were free? Or did they become free and then kill the Professor?
Kill him, then they free.
Henry will confirm, yes, the sort of story you heard is as part of the final sort of night in which they freed themselves. They killed him and sort of...
Does someone not assume the mantle when the Lord dies?
My understanding, from what you've sort of told me and reading about this in Trovadora, you made understand this. Typically, yes, someone restores the mantle. In that time, the mists become a little bit weaker, though, and you can escape back to the material world, or even to the shadow world, or to a different dreadland. In this circumstance, however, while they killed him, or as they were killing him, they also enacted this bright sort of power. You saw the lantern. Well, you did not, Cosmonosla, but when you were there in Ravenstred, you saw this great lantern that was sort of mystical, and it was crafted by them, sort of, to be this beacon, and that is how they believe they escaped.
And that
prevented a new dreadlord from sort of forming.
Yeah, but the one who taught them that was the Saints, or
The Saints did it. I don't have all the details about that. Perhaps
Okay.
Igor will know.
all right.
Does that track?
You would need to do something substantial to escape from a dreadland. Yes.
So more
it's
than
just
just building
escaping.
a lantern.
But ending the status of Dreadland's a whole different thing.
Ending the status of dreadland, perhaps if you had enough magical positive energy that you sort of imbued into an object, and right when the dreadlord was killed, you activated it with, I think many of the saints sort of, kind of gave their lives to activate it, or they were already dead and they sort of, you put their souls into it. So it was a big gesture. It could have happened. Sherlock seems to think, no, it was that the Nightmare Rider went out. To be perfectly honest, I think either one is possible.
All right. Well-
Have you heard from Sherlock?
I've checked in on Sherlock a bit. I'm trying to sort of not talk to him too much.
Did you two have falling out?
We never had a falling in. That guy. Sherlock's presence has been helpful at times, but I mean, you know what he's like.
But he's fine.
I mean, he's the worst.
No, I mean, but he fine. Like, he fine.
He's fine.
Like-
He's okay.
Like you
Yeah.
you're into him fine?
No, he's because we leave him. Is he?
Oh, that Sherlock. I haven't really checked in on that one.
Okay, it's fine.
I can scry on him. That's fine.
Nah.
Okay.
You know what? To be honest, I don't really want to scry on that one because I'm going to be so irritated if as soon as I scry on him, he goes, I'm deducing that you're scrying on me right now, and I'll be like, fucking asshole.
No, he's probably doing his gentlemanly needs anyways. It's
Then
not good.
Then I do not want to scry on him.
Okay, we talk to Igor now.
Let's go to Igor and at least confirm that it started being a demi-plane of dread when the professor spontaneously came into existence through some way, shape, or form.
You guys can go in and talk to Igor.
All
Sort of
right.
sitting there, he has the sleepy teammate, which he's sipped a couple times, and sat down.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, all of you. It is good to see you all.
Good to
How
see you
can
too,
I be
Igor.
of service?
We got questions.
Yes.
Tell us about Dreadlord.
About Professor Katzerschloss.
No.
Or in general.
Well,
What you say his name?
Professor Katzerschloss.
Oh, okay.
Well, all right. In general, the Dreadlord is in control of a Dreadland. They are sort of imprisoned there. It is sort of they are given a great deal of power, but they cannot escape, and they are whatever their desire is dangled in front of them, but they cannot achieve it.
Okay, we got that. So
Who you look at and you feel terror beyond belief?
Who do I look at and feel terror beyond belief?
Not here, but before.
There was always terror there. I knew there was another master before Professor Katzerschloss. Another sort of-
Before?
Yes.
What his name?
was he the
or
one
her.
that taught the professor?
No, he did not instruct the professor. When he was killed, the professor's power and prominence rose. Before the professor, it was well, we mainly refer to him as the painter. He was an artist.
The scariest person in the entire plane was an artist.
You did not see his paintings.
Well, this makes sense to me.
They were horrifying.
Did from
Did his
the
paintings come to life or anything like that?
They would come to life in your mind if you stared at them.
So no, they didn't come to life.
The worst of his paintings is probably the most frightened I was. Yes.
So
Out of- from back in the college days?
Mhm.
I know there was like the gambler and all those. Was there a painter in all those guys?
There was not a painter among the Mistwalkers,
Okay.
no.
Or the great artist.
What happened to this painter?
He was killed.
By?
No one's sure.
Are you a creation of the professor?
No. I am not. I was there before the professor.
So
I worked for the painter.
Is that so?
I
so
cleaned his
after
brushes.
Painter died, who make you feel fear like Painter after he died?
frightening than looking in the mirror.
Yes, this is sort of what I was wondering.
Than knowing the bad things that are inside of all of us.
Yes, Dominic, just side note, that is why artists could be most terrifying, for if a good painting can lay bare the torment within your soul to your very eyes. But also, question, Igor. How many dreadlords have you served? And do they always die?
Well, I think most masters die eventually. I served the painter, and I served the professor.
Is it all? It took you a while to get there, so I just want to make sure that that's all that's on the list.
I do not know if others were dreadlords, you see.
Igor, pal, buddy, goulash friend of mine. The problem now is that you say, since seeing Painter, the only thing scary is your face. And Asha don't know if Asha should help you with self-esteem, maybe give you buddy makeover, or if you saying you knew Dreadlord. You see the problem that Asha having now.
I don't understand.
Perhaps answer this question then. Why are you so afraid of the Night Rider? And why is the Night Rider looking
The
for?
Nightmare Rider.
And why he horse?
In this place, I suppose he cannot reach you. The Nightmare Rider is a horse.
Shouldn't it just be a nightmare then? It's not like horses riding something else.
No, because he horse that ride Nightmare.
Indeed.
Like Nightmare is the floor.
It is multi-level pun.
The Nightmare Rider is If the Nightmare Rider is so much more than a Dreadlord. He is special. He is even more than the Dark Powers themselves.
Okay, this new terminology to me. What the heck are the dark powers?
The Dark Powers are those things that keep the Dreadlords in place. They are entities or spirits or creatures or things. They are what create the mists, what make it so none can escape. The Nightmare Rider maybe is one of them, or maybe is on their level but apart from them. And he is often reflected in the Dark Lords of certain realms.
Okay. Alright.
What he have to do with Professor?
I did not know of, he visited the Professor's tower towards the end.
Before he died.
Yes, when the Saints and the Stitch were massing their forces. Orlando summoned him.
Orlando was able to summon the Nightmare Rider?
Summon may be a strong word. Orlando invited him. Orlando contacted him.
How Orlando do that?
The Dreadlord must have allowed it. Or perhaps because the Nightmare Rider is a part of the dark world of a Dreadland.
So you mean the Professor allowed it?
It was Orlando who brought him.
So Orlando Dreadlord?
Are people saying Orlando is the Dreadlord?
No one's saying who Dreadlord is. Asha's so confused. She just want answers.
Everyone says it is Professor Quetzalcoatl.
So, Professor, let Orlando contact Nightmare Rider.
Only the Dreadlord could.
So is Professor Dreadlord.
This is what everyone says.
Okay, what do you say?
Igor,
What you say?
do you have the ability to make inferences or suppositions based on the data available to you?
Who
Because
on
you're saying
first?
what other people are saying.
I
There's
have
some-
studied, yes, science, I understand.
Is there some
Because you're
reason
refusing.
You can't speak plainly here? Is there something
Yeah.
preventing you from saying something? Some magical block
No.
or I don't know, sort of hair trigger explosive that will detonate?
No.
Oh, no.
Just, it seems to me that you do not believe Professor Ketzerschloss to be the Dreadlord.
I don't even know what a dreadlord really is,
So
so.
I do not wish to say something. I will simply say the
Well-
name of the person, not the position in case it is. I do not wish to lie to you.
Well, you see, just tracking back, very, very simply, that only the Dreadlord could invite someone into a Dreadland.
Could allow a message to go out.
Okay.
Okay, that is much clearer now.
Yes.
And independently, it was Orlando that contacted the Nightmare Rider.
I know
Which
for
means
a fact
that-
it was Orlando who contacted the
Okay.
Nightmare Rider, yes.
Which means, therefore, no matter who the Dreadlord is, they know that Orlando contacted the Nightmare Rider.
Yes.
Okay.
And who
Who do you
do
believe?
you think you say Dreadlord is?
Now there is no Dreadlord.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Mhm.
a free realm, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it
Before that-
then?
Was Professor Dreadlord.
That is what everyone says.
Okay.
Okay. Igor.
What? But do you believe the professor was the Dreadlord? Yes or no?
All right. Does anyone have a looking glass? A mirror of some sort.
I served him as if he was.
Okay.
Igor, I asked
Okay.
question. I asked question before we started this. If we were going to have conversation or interrogation, and you are sending it in a direction I do not wish to go.
You are
I'm willing. I'm willing. We're up my alley
Hey.
soon.
You are not asking the question you wish to ask.
No, Asha pretty sure she asking the
All
question
right.
that she wished to
Then
ask.
I'll ask. Are you a Dreadlord?
No,
Okay, you can say that plainly at least.
I am not a Dreadlord.
Is Orlando a Dreadlord?
No,
Is Frederica a Dreadlord?
not for Frederica.
Okay.
You
I just
get
need to-
her name out your mouth.
You have to cross every I, dot every T, okay?
It crossed. We already crossed.
All right.
I am feeling quite crossed. Yes.
Have you met the actual Dreadlord, whoever it is?
Whoever it was.
Who it was.
Have you been in the same room with that Dreadlord and listened to it speak and interacted with this?
Yes.
Okay, who that was.
Are we playing 20 questions now? Or is this like the Akinator here?
I should not realize we have limit on questions.
There's no limit. You're asking me who the who the Dreadlord of Raven's Dread was. It seems you already know.
No. Igor. Asha know that Asha seemed like smartest person in room all the time. But Igor, you need to understand, Asha genuinely not know the answer to the question, which is why Asha keep asking it.
I do
And I'm
not-
telling you now, she is the smartest one in the room, though I don't know Cosmonauts mental
Jerry's
faculties.
still out on that one.
La Trovadora is kind of like. I'm just excited. Don't worry about me.
I forgot she was even there.
Um,
Okay, so are you under any sort of compulsion that prevents you from speaking plainly?
I'd simply appreciate that you have rescued me from what would have been a cruel fate. I made a mistake being where I was, and then things grew too dangerous too quickly. And I had helped you. I had given you too much aid too recently. I thank you for freeing me, so I do not wish to lie to you but I also, there are things I do not wish to speak of. But if you insist, I can answer. But you must understand it was, what a near thing it was.
What?
How close we were to becoming trapped in another Dreadland.
No, Asha here, hoof step.
Yes. Who would it... I don't know who it would have been. Maybe Zekas. He seems...
Question.
He was so broken at the time, yes.
No, we fix him. He fine.
Yes. He got
Is Dreadlordship a transferable title?
by death.
Can it be
yes, it is.
It could have been stripped from a previous being, and
It
after
often
it's
is.
stripped from the
Yes.
previous being, who holds the power then?
For a while, the power is uncertain until the dark powers select a new Dreadlord.
Hmm. And it's resting on one individual at the current moment, right? Whoever has the Dreadlordship of
Of
Raven's Dread.
No, Raven's Dread has no Dreadlord. It was freed, that is the point.
Hmm.
Raven's Dread was freed from the realms.
And who was the Dreadlord before it was freed?
None of you wish to say it.
I don't know anyone in Raven's Dread except for the names we noticed.
are
and
you?
If it's
Okay,
not,
then.
Who
it's not
who is causing you? Who is causing you the fear that makes you not wish to speak?
Just
is
me.
it the writer?
Well, the writer, but it is I cause the fear. Don't I?
Different question. Who put Scarecrow on horse?
This I do not know, and I have always wondered. I am very curious. I am assuming it is some kind of magical telekinesis, or perhaps he can sort of conjure it upon himself.
Gotta check out. Yeah.
Or maybe he has strange undead stable hands somewhere, and they put these things on him and polish his shoes. and
That
brush
makes
it
sense.
down. I don't know.
Because it's really weird. We throw a tree at him and just Scarecrow fall off.
What?
What?
It's a long question. It's a long story. I shot the rider on the horse.
Did not.
And
Then we
the
threw a
guy
tree at him.
fell off.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, it was a pretty short story actually.
Very
this is-
short.
I liked it. It was good.
Anyway, actually, one
What
question.
the question you think we want asked?
So, I don't know much about Raven's Dread. Literally, the only names I know of are you, the professor, the painter, Frederica, and Orlando.
And Marco.
Oh, Marco. Marco.
Is he a Dreadlord? Just to be sure.
Marco was not a Dreadlord. He was a
Okay.
staged. He was always. The Professor Ketzerschloss wanted me to make a smart one, so I found really good brains. I robbed many graves to find the best great brains, and we put one together. The juiciest amygdala. the healthiest frontal cortex.
Okay. And
Very sharp eyes.
I've got a
Marco was
question
smart.
as well. Does Dreadlordship, does it have to be applied to a living being?
No. No, it can be dead. They can be undead.
Can
So
it
is
be
it still Professor?
There is now no Dreadlord of Raven's Dread.
Dreadlord? So the title has been vacated.
Yes.
The powers have been
And many
powers
say
have been
that is
taken.
the only time it has been that the whole Dreadland was rescued.
And okay, and just to get this, did the lighting of the lantern cause it, or is it completely unrelated to the Dreadlordship being removed?
You have done a great deal of research if you know about Marco and the lantern. Lighting the lantern was necessary, but was not enough on its own.
So what?
What else happened on top of that? You threw him off of the.
I
Of
did not
the-
do it. I was cowering in a corner.
I said you as a collective
I'm
thing.
sorry, yes, the people.
The royal you.
Those who rose up,
Yeah.
yes. No.
Y'all, how
He
about
was-
that?
He was slain and the lantern was lighted. And then the Nightmare Rider rode around and carried the mists away. And I slipped out. I ran so far away.
Wait, that's no information. He carried the entirety of the mist out with him?
Yes, the Nightmare Rider, he can drag the mists behind him. He can reshape them. They go
So he made it not Dreadland.
Yes, because of Orlando and his plans.
Is that what Orlando asked him to do? Make it free?
Yes,
Why Orlando asked that?
because he wanted to escape.
But why?
Oh,
Why not
hold
just
on.
ask to escape? Why make the whole thing free? And why not?
Could
And
it
then
be?
why kill Frederica? What his whole plan? What?
I do not know Orlando's
Oh no, he
plans.
working for someone because Black Flower. He working for someone.
Yes.
Oh, that black flower. The rose.
That.
This I do not know of the Black Flowers. It is of the Shadow Elves. It is of the Shadow World. They can use it to transport themselves.
This is as seen in Here Be Dragons.
Alright, so I guess the question
Years
is then is if the mist can just be taken away, does that mean that does that just break off the chain of inheritance for the Dreadlordship, I guess?
Yes, there is no longer, the position is no longer in existence. But now a new Dreadlord position has been created for Lake Ethelred.
For what?
Lake Ethelred,
For the
where,
sad
where
lake.
your friends rescued me.
Oh, that place. So
And I
So
have-
that's what happened. The Dreadlord, there was a Dreadlord at the time, but it doesn't really matter now because the whole position, the title has been taken away by the Nightmare Rider,
precisely
who dumped it off at that place.
Who the
you were at.
Nightmare Rider superseded were the Dark Powers. The Dark Powers held it in place and held their sway, and before they could pick a new Dreadlord and re-establish things, the Nightmare Rider rode it all away.
You say Marco is the smart one?
He was the smartest of the stitched, yes.
How he died?
I believe he died in the fighting.
He was mortally wounded. So basically, what you were told is the Saints of the Sith defeated the Dreadlord. They freed Raven's Dread. He suffered like a mortal wound, and they could, because of all this, they could never revive a Stitched because the magic was, they were like leaving the thing. But as he was dying, he was like, "No, the Dreadlord escaped." Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, that was.
So if Marco say the Dreadlord escaped,
That means the title was still present, but just taken away from Raven's Dread owned by the Nightmare Rider.
So either Professor fake his death and somewhere out there, or Professor not Dreadlord.
Not anymore.
Well, not ever, if Dreadlord escaped. So who escaped?
Well, everyone escaped to a material plane, but those who left Ravensthread altogether were Orlando and me.
Is that the end of list?
So far as I know.
Okay. So is Orlando Dreadlord?
No.
Was he before? No. Were you Dreadlord?
Yes.
Okay. But you not now.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
He sort of slumps.
It's okay. Here, have more bun. It's okay.
Do you
It's
like
okay.
some slippy TMA?
Dominic was about to say it's not your fault, but kind of sort of was, so he stopped himself from even starting that thought.
So this is why you have been so cagey, is you are worried that if Nightmare Rider finds out that you tricked him.
I did not trick him.
No, yeah, there's no trick.
He knew.
Well, then why are you running?
I did not honor the deal.
What the deal?
They wanted more. I simply wanted out.
Who they?
Orlando in the Nightmare Rider.
More what?
More power. Bigger plans.
So Nightmare Rider and Orlando looking for you?
No. I don't think they don't. They will come for me someday, but I am not their priority.
More power.
Their plans
You
are-
let the Nightmare Rider in then.
I could not have prevented him from coming in, but I let Orlando speak with him. And you see, yeah, both the painter and the professor thought they were the Dreadlord.
What?
They thought they were the Dreadlord.
Oh,
They thought they were in charge
why they think that?
because I made
Because
them
you-
think it.
Yeah. Classic Starscream.
Orlando and Marco, I suppose, then realized. In fact, I suspect Marco told Orlando before the schism happened. They needed it for Orlando to escape the way they did. They needed it to seem that a victory had been won against the nightmares. That power of goodness had let them free, because it then allowed Orlando to slip away the way he did. And me, but then
And you, yeah.
I did not wish to continue with them, so I ran.
It ran so far away.
Did anyone besides Orlando and Horse know you, Dreadlord?
Marco.
Oh,
Suspects.
Marco, because he's smart, right?
No one else truly knew.
Okay.
I do not think. I will make no requests. It would be better. Do as you must.
I mean, you're not Dreadlord anymore, right?
No.
We have plenty of other Dreadlords here, so it almost not even matter.
Well, they are representations. They have not.
And you had no had the powers anymore.
But I've done what I've done.
Eh.
Asha done. Have you talked to these people? We all done things.
Dominic is all going,
Have
There
you
are
seen
many-
how
Lay it on
Asha's
me.
people make xylophone?
Yeah, there
lay
are
it on
many-
me, bro.
There are many skeletons in closets, and bodies in trunks.
La Trovadora from the corner will simply say, "This is very kind of you to say to him, but no. He is so much more bad than any of you put together. He is.
It.
He is very, very bad.
But you haven't seen
But-
the Ewok xylophone.
That is true, and I'm sure it's grotesque, and I'd love to play one sometime, but no.
Well, Dominic is going, yeah, but so what? Because he's not hurting me now, so I don't really care.
Igor, you good guy now, right? You help us fix Frederica.
I did.
Asha ate the paper.
I have great guilt.
You let us.
Well,
You give Asha tool that figure out
And
Zekas.
having done
first.
that, had the Nightmare Rider come, oh, it would have been so bad. I had just shown kindness. I would not have been the Dreadlord.
I mean, because you feel guilt, I mean, that means that, well, just because you are a bad guy does not mean you are a bad
That guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I see what you're trying to do, but I am, as far as I know, the only Dreadlord who has escaped, whose fate has not ended with eternal
Okay.
imprisonment or death.
I
Okay.
feel like that pretty cool thing to put on resume, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The point is, my friend, I did not wish to confess this, but I did not wish to lie to you outright. But now I have told you.
Well then. So,
Yes.
one thing is, okay, so you reneged on a deal with this Nightmare Rider plus Orlando. They're all cross with you. What does it have to do with the rest of us? Because I was brought into this whole thing because there's a threat to the multiverse as a whole.
No, yeah. What that have to do with Maisie?
And if
I don't know
Dracula.
I don't know what Maisie or Dracula is. Actually, I
Creepy
probably
doll.
I know what Dracula is probably.
Bram Stoker.
Stoker, I hardly know her.
Dominic's just tempted to just pull out his gun right now and just blow
All right,
it.
that's it, Igor. Never mind.
That's
you're
it.
Dying. You're dying for what you've done.
All of the genocides you've done, I can let that slide, but a bad pun, oh hell no, it's over.
Just
What is
had
it
to
in
keep
Community? I could forgive racism, but I drop.
Oh. Oh man.
Anyway, okay, so you don't know anything about Maisie, any of those shenanigans working with the Nightmare
Creepy
Rider.
little doll, purple dress, red hair.
Oh, I have seen indications of a new thing rising, but no, this is not something I know about. But as far as the Nightmare Rider's plans go, the Nightmare Rider wishes to expand his range. He wishes to bring more places under his control and sway.
So he wants to be alternate powers that be to those powers that be, essentially, with his own.
Yes, but the dark powers, he wants to take the light powers too. You are here in the realm of dreams. This is what he wants to conquer.
No, he can't have this.
Yes.
So, how? There is just one more thing.
One more thing.
How if he wishes to conquer more lands, how does freeing your land give him power to do so?
What we left with, what I left with, is unique. To have restored the Dreadland in this way, it has tipped the scales. it is shifted the shape of the nightmares. And those elves in their shadow worlds, those shadow things, it has changed their perspective on the Dreadlands altogether. Those who ward in the gloom, it has given them new fronts to fight upon. It is you could call it a false flag operation. Show the power of light conquering the darkness, and those who rely on the darkness decide they need a darker darkness. They need more potent mist, more inescapable shadow.
Yeah. No, this I can understand.
I'll tell you this. It will be the first place they try to reclaim. When it
Robin's
begins
Dread?
in earnest, yes.
Well, sucks to be them, I guess.
Love Dominic.
Okay, well, I guess we good.
You're going to
Yeah.
simply let me stay here.
I mean, no more bad things, or not worse than what everyone else doing. At least some of them.
Trovador is shaking her head. No, it's way worse than
La
anything.
Trovador, and again, La Trovador is not like kick him out or anything. She's just like, no, it's worse than what the other. Okay, fine.
No, I should mean like, there are three evil lich things making our dead friend body a tool of theirs.
What
So
now?
the bar pretty low right now. So you fine. Just
Okay.
just don't be worse than that.
Yeah, they seem like you would get along with them. Maybe go hang out with the leeches.
I will not. I do not wish to commit further evil.
Then we fine.
And just
Just
hang
hang
out in
out
the
in the-
bar. Hang
And
out
then
whole
hang out with
years.
all the
Yeah.
others.
I can also stay indoors. I do not wish to bother Frederica. I have tormented her enough.
Well, you can go explore things, but until she's ready,
Are you,
just stay out her way.
are you going to tell her about me?
I don't know, or she's not my friend.
Well, telling her not change the things that happened. Maybe we tell her later. Asha don't know.
We're here in Course Court right now, right?
Yeah.
So, but Frederica's in the other room. It might be awkward if she sees you right now.
You know, you go now. We let
So,
her leave in
you know
a
what?
little bit.
There's a vase here, right? Because it's Course Court. They have to have a vase.
Yeah.
There's a one I've decided to put right on top of his head.
Oh, that would fit his head. Make a luck roll.
Luck of 3. 1, 3, 6. No,
No.
absolutely none.
Also, in terms of the vase over the head man, he's got a pretty recognizable body.
Wouldn't have worked 5 ways to Sunday anyway.
Yeah.
Ah,
You
well.
go. You go
I just
learn
go
to
ahead.
deal with your guilt and also explore New World. Catch show at Bad Dragon. That seemed good cross intersection of both those things.
I will go to the Bad Dragon, I suppose.
La Trovador
If
goes,
you need-
I'm gonna walk him out, I suppose. I'm gonna just give him a little. I just want you to understand what it is you might be going through. It's like,
Wait, are any of the characters therapists? Because you might need some therapy.
there is the Shergoth.
Well, there you go.
Oh, go Shergoth. Yes. Yes.
He's
I
gonna be
forgot.
sitting in the little chase lounge talking about his traumas.
Okay.
So,
Rucksack. That is another right. It's more
It's a
false
slant
rhyme, but
rhyme, but it's not bad. But yeah, I get you. Yeah, rucksack.
we're calling back to that.
Yeah, I understand. She kind of turns and walks out and says,
This is a big deal.
because I mean, it seems unprecedented. That's always a big deal.
Was Frederica listening this whole time?
"No, was Friederica from her room? You don't know, but La Trovadora will go out with him."
Oh, moving past.
And
He's out
this is-
after a few moments. Henry walks in and says, "Okay, I applaud your sort of level of forgiveness and your
If you didn't do anything wrong to me, there's nothing for me to forgive.
Well, excellent perspective. Okay, so we do have an actual dreadlord, not a sort of helpful character version of one here.
Like you not even listen. He say he not one anymore.
I suppose technically speaking that's true, but that's sort of like saying, well, okay, yes, okay, he's not a...
Well, no, Henry, it is more that what we have now is when we are ready, we have the best bait for who we're trying to fight.
What was he doing at Lake Ethelred?
Damn, Cosmonocelot.
Yeah.
Even Dominic's going.
Damn.
Look, we can forgive crimes, but punishment must still be had. One must repent in order to be forgiven, truly.
Edward's like, wow, alright. Thank you, Cosmonocelot. Once again, your perspective is different and interesting.
You are indeed a big cat.
I just don't know what he was doing. I don't understand why he was at Lake Ethelred.
I wasn't there. That's where you picked him up before you got over here, right?
If it was,
we can...
it was a place primed. It is what you're saying. It's like bait. Like him in Lake Ethelred. That is bait for the Nightmare Eye.
Can Asha run after him?
Sure.
Okay. Should run. Igor!
You're gonna shout.
Shouting. Friederika's hiding in her room. Yes. Yeah.
Igor.
He'll sort
Sorry.
of pause on the steps.
Yes.
What? Couple, maybe more questions. I should forget. Why you go to Sad Lake?
Oh. I have been... The difficulties I've had after escaping. I've been working on some devices and plans. And you did something that attracted the attention so swiftly that basically part of me has missed the power of being a dreadlord. So I had a means of perhaps becoming one again. If I grew too hopeless. But then you came and triggered it early, and I had just done kindness, which means I would not have been the dreadlord there. I would have been subservient to them, and this I could not abide.
I sure wish you hadn't said that.
I did not wish to do it. I went there to have the option.
Okay. Well, enjoy show in meantime. Asha will come back.
Yeah, he'll head on out.
So, good news, bad news.
Oh. What'd he say?
Bad news is he go there because he say as last resort, if he couldn't stand all the running and bad stuffs, he was gonna try and be Dreadlord again to have power back.
Dominic already has his Glock out. All right, we're putting him down.
Interesting.
Want me to do it, Henry? I can do it.
No, I don't. What that means is he...
He said because he do a kind thing to help us, that he would not be allowed to do Dreadlord
That
anymore.
is why he accepted your offer to escape. But he hadn't triggered it yet. He hadn't done it.
No, he said it was last resort.
Did he say he was just simply going to sort of say, "Come and get me, I'll be a dreadlord"? Did he have some plan? Did he have some...
He had plan.
Don't kill him, please, Dominic.
Okay.
No, we need him for bait.
Okay, fine.
We've spoken to him enough for now, but I would like to know what that plan was. There may be useful information we can glean from that. But, as you say, he seems to no longer wish to do evil. I don't think he's lying about that, but I also think that when you are a dread lord of a place like that, it may be something that becomes ingrained in you. So we must be very cautious. Good work. But I'm sorry that you are now troubled, Asha.
Or tea. Anyone?
Oh, yes. Oh, please. Love a cup. I've got a hot one for you, sir. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. What is... Oh, no. I need proper tea, not whatever. I need caffeinated. Please, like, it has a part of that for him as well. So with that is where we'll end this session. Yes, Asha.
Saying it now.
Yeah.
Asha wants to spend her downtime fiddling with the curse sector. One, to see if she can just duplicate it. And then two, if she can also somehow add a thing to make it remove curses without us having to have Zekas be around to undo the spell.
Understood. You can certainly, we can roll on that next time. I've written that down in prep for next week.
Excellent.
Well, there you go. So that wound up being, oh man, it was too bad because it was kind of an upbeat ending. But then Asha did a Columbo one more thing and heard something she didn't like.
The real usual suspects there.
What was he planning there? What was his plan?
Wait, Kobayashi. My teacup has Kobayashi.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. There you go. Who thought it was Igor from the beginning? I think Koss said it several sessions back, and I was like,
Of course he did.
I was like, I'll just let it ride. But the idea of I've been really into the idea of a guy who always is the assistant to successive dreadlords. I don't know. But at the same time, I was like, he can't have been alive for that long because that's weird. So I didn't have it be like a huge list of professors and mad scientists.
Like, I can't even remember if I said it as myself or if Dominic was absentmindedly saying it.
I think Dominic said it sort of absentmindedly. But the point is, yes. So Igor, now you understand why Igor is always hiding out in his weirdness. But you did very much accomplish the mission that you learned what it was. Also,
100% success rate.
100% success rate. And yet Igor was so irritating when he just didn't want to answer. He didn't want to lie to you.
But we peeled out enough layers on there that really the only solution was the literally only person.
He would have loved to have just said it was Orlando, but he didn't want to lie to you guys. I'd like to point out that, you know what no one did in either of those conversations was make literally one detect vibe read person roll. No one used insight. Which is
In my defense, I only got
you
two.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, very good. Well, thank you all. That was a lot of fun. We have some other games on the channel. On Wednesday, we'll be back with Top Flight Tales, I assume. On Friday, we'll be back with Blood from a Stone. On Sunday, we will have our final part of Lore by Candlelight, where we will sort of see how those wacky heisters get through the tunnels with their thing in hand. And we'll find out what happens with that little plant, that lady. And then 1 week from tonight, we're back with this game, where I don't know what the options will be. Do any of you do players have requests of threads they're more interested in following based on, I won't guarantee stuff because there will still be some rolls, but I can.
Next week?
Well, it does feel like now we should have some. We should be trying to find Orlando again, right?
So Orlando. So leads on Orlando.
All right. The abbreviation should be Dodgers Brewers.
Dodgers Brewers. I'll try. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'll try.
I don't know. I'm not arguing against the Orlando suggestion. However,
well, we just got to go find our former compatriot, right? He's obviously with her. She obviously must have summoned him to her homeland.
now my concern,
Correct.
as with earlier, is that I'm actually not following anything that's going on. What?
Okay.
We're trying to stop Maisie, right? What?
Well, yes and no. We don't know who. We actually don't know who the power is.
So what Henry has told you as of now is that he suspects there is a great power who very well may be the Nightmare Rider. Maisie and Dracula he views as sub powers. He views those as sub threats. There is a main threat. Maybe one of them will be revealed to be the main threat, but right now they're kind of like the other people.
Oh, they're
so
subs
the
and
Nightmare
not
Rider
doms.
is the
That makes
current
sense.
contender for the main threat.
Nightmare Rider is the main contender for the main threat. Now I will say something to you guys. This is some meta knowledge that Henry probably could figure out, or at least part of this. One thing that's interesting is you guys have some allegiance to Dracula, but as has been seen in Top Flight, Dracula and the Nightmare Rider created a new Dreadland there together.
Yeah.
Maisie and the Nightmare Rider do not seem to be on the same side.
Well, also.
Was Nova right the whole time? Is Maisie actually her friend?
Well, because Maisie is still
saying that.
not yet a master mage.
Maisie is a master mage. She's made it. She's an early stage master mage. But because she now exists in multiple places all at once. She and Dracula are kind of like on the rise. They're not like the level of all those other ones, but she's made it to that.
Okay, so then I guess the Orlando plan does make sense.
Or, we could just go get smoothies and have a spa day,
If I
Oh,
roll,
or that.
you know what? I've never. Do you guys want me to roll them right now? I've never done this on stream. Do you want me to roll what the options are right now?
Go ahead.
See the sausage being made here? Okay. Or are people really
The
tired?
sausage being made is Philip roll some dice like he always does.
Or is
game.
everyone just like super tired and you just want to go to bed?
If you're gonna figure out the acronyms,
No, the acronyms will not be happening, but I will do this. Okay, KJ, can you roll a d20?
Oh,
we can participate then. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. KJ, you're rolling a d20. This is not for any specifics. This is just a sort of roll this.
7.
7, cool. 2 options. If Henry rolls super high, he sees 3 possible options. But Henry has to roll basically, it's a nat 20, or there's just 2. Cool. All right. Pierce, would you roll? You know what? We haven't. Pierce, roll me a d12.
12? You got it.
Sometimes I will veto things that have happened in the last 2, so if you roll Usher on Rift, I might do this, and oftentimes I'll make a thing to do it, but usually I'll just do rerolls if I roll a thing we can't do. What do you got?
9.
9. World of Wellness.
Hey!
So that's an option again. So there will be a spa day. Ka, could you roll a D? Actually, roll a D10. I'm just gonna eliminate 2 from this D12 list, being World of Wellness and Forlorn from last time.
All right, Google, what have you got? 1.
My old favorite possibility. Ooh, I have no idea what this will be, but this will be the one that's related to Orlando because World of Wellness probably won't. But it'll either be World of Wellness or it'll be good old CC7722.
The TV world again?
No, CC7722 is like the world where Top Flight comics are read.
It's where we went to the video game company, right?
It's where you went to Premium Swordfish to try to do the thing. It's where you went to see Damien Aventi do his thing. Yeah, it's where
Orlando could be at the spa.
Orlando could be the spot. I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the things will be.
Oh God, is it
Can Stitch get skin peels?
You could get a massage.
one of those fan service episodes that turns out to be actually part of the canon, like an outlaw star?
That can happen.
The most fucked up grim thing happens at the end of the session.
Okay, Pierce.
Yeah.
Pierce, roll a d4, and KJ roll a d4. If you both roll the same number, that's okay. Actually, hold on. Don't say what it is yet. Okay, cool. Got it. Pierce,
3. Oh,
2.
2 and 3. Thank you. Okay, got it. I'm not telling you what the things will be, but I now know
Sure,
which each one is.
Okay.
Pierce, you were 2, or you were 3?
It was 2.
You were 2. Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everyone for watching. This was fun and weird. I appreciate everyone checking out this silliness. Go to our Discord to interact, or YouTube to watch old episodes, or Wiki to see how all this stuff intersects. Pierce, do we have a Manzukis for tonight?
We do. I do. Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I think, given that this is sort of a movie about an interrogation, about someone telling a story about their past, it does involve a lot of darkness. It's a great movie. Directed by Bill Paxton, starring Matthew McConaughey. It's called Frailty. It's a fantastic movie where Matthew McConaughey is being interviewed by the FBI and talking about how his dad taught him how to kill these people who were demons.
Interesting.
It's wonderful. It's an excellent movie. So that will be my Manzukis that ties into our interrogation of dark things.
Well, there you go.
quick thing. Galanorian Saber said he rolled a 10. I didn't see when he said that, but he rolled a 10.
Actually, hold on. KJ, can you roll a d6? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say which table this will go on and what it will affect from there.
4.
4? That's 1, 2. So it's the second option. Your 10 is incorporated. I'm going to jot something down here. Okay. Great.
I would like to take a quick moment to woman Zekas, as you've coined the term.
Oh no. You can't.
News.
You can't.
News are fucking terrible. They're just ugly mooses, and they can rot in fucking hell. That's fuck them.
Oh, you know what I mean? What? Oh, the common animal homophone. You mean? New?
Guys, just remember, not everyone does these things at the same times.
Excuse me, this is my woman Zekas. You cannot tell me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, don't man
Also,
Zekas or
it
woman
is
Zekas.
9:30 at night.
Yeah,
Most of America is past it.
that's fair. Okay. We got so many texts about the connections today, you guys. I got so many texts about today's connections. People were mad. I don't. All I can say about today's connections is I did get it with no mistake.
They're a stupid animal. They're just ugly mooses.
But I knew it. That's the difference. I happened to knew it.
Okay, we
I
can.
hate
end the
you.
show
I
now.
hate you. I've never hated you more than this moment.
I know.
Oh my god.
Maybe we won't have a top flight this Wednesday. Tune in.
You know
Let's
what?
find out.
I forgot GNU was even an animal because I only associated that with Linux.
There you go. Oh yeah, I will say that when you Google it, that is the first thing that comes up, not the animal.
Yeah, I was very confused
Not
when I
the
googled it to
wildebeest.
see what the fuck it was.
Very good. Well, on that
That's
cryptic,
right. If the Google doesn't even tell you first try, it's absolutely not a good enough word.
come on, Wina.
Oh my god.
Wina's causing trouble.
If I have to add a second clarify, if I have to put new animal just to figure out what the fuck it is, no, absolutely not.
Wina is out there. What? You know what Wina wants? This. This is what Wina wants. Wina wants the world to burn. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, whatever you do, don't start playing New York Times games.
Or do, you know? We're not your dad.
But again, here's the thing about it.
I might be.
Every time you do a terrible connections, you do the connections, and you're like, God damn it, Wina, this was terrible. Like, give me another one immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, is it though? Is it that?
Like, yeah, we'll get you hooked on it, Ka, don't worry.
No, I remember the connections game.
Yeah. Today's connections was if you do the connections right now, you have a big leg up because we're talking about it a lot. Oh, why not? Well, on that note, thank you for the man Zekas. Thank you for the woman Zekas. Thank you for the latest news, and we will see you all next time. Until then, sweet dreams.